So yeah, the Xbox showcase came and went, and there was no Silksong in sight. The funny thing is, we knew that. We knew that because of the Jason Schreier tweet. We knew that because of the leaker that was that leaked the whole TikTok thing. He backpedaled on that, so it wasn't a surprise, right? But I still felt a bit disappointed, right? Because I was thinking, hey, it's been a year with barely any news. The only thing we've gotten since the delay was the let message in February, where he said that they're hard at work, but I don't know. With a delay this big, I don't know if that really cuts it. That would have been perfect, like before the Xbox, because before the original Xbox window, that would have been good, right? We had those 3 years before the Xbox window, which we went through. We hoped it would be that some Nintendo showcases and stuff. That wasn't that big of a deal. Then we got the Xbox stuff back in 2022. We waited until 2023 without really saying much, without expecting much when it came to showcases, because we knew, hey, June 2023, it's gonna be out. We're gonna have a huge announcement. Then back in May 2023, we got a delay. That was heartbreaking, but understandable. They just couldn't make the Xbox window. No biggie, right? And now it's been a year, almost to the day. There's 2 days left. This Wednesday is gonna be the 12th of June, the date where the original window ended. And I was thinking to myself, why did Team Cherry even agree with Xbox on the original date? Especially since it's been a year since the delay. And I could think maybe there have been some major bugs that appeared. Well, I don't think there would be anything that game-breaking appearing at a point where development is almost concluded. My next theory would be that Team Cherry decided to go ahead and actually just add more content after they fixed those bugs. But then why didn't they just tell us, like, hey gang, Team Cherry here, we found some bugs, had to delay, and now we've started adding a bunch more content to the game. We're not gonna make it anytime soon. I feel like at that point people wouldn't have really expected much. But the reason the expectations were so major for Xbox is, well, because of all those coincidences we've had, all those things that would be quote-unquote pointing towards Xbox, but then we had nothing, right? And it's still radio silence, even like 24 hours later. Nothing from Team Cherry, nothing from Leth, which, okay, they're developing the game. That's cool. And Leth isn't really obligated to, talk about every event. But when expectations are so high to the point where the Reddit is pretty much literally dying, and the Discord server, not the server itself, but the channel, the Silksong discussion channel, had to be locked for like 5 minutes and had to have a 50-second slow mode, I think at that point your community is kind of imploding. I know that it was mainly just those people who came in occasionally, the 1-time or 2-time Discord visitors who came in and cried about this whole thing. Personally, what's my take on this? I'm just a bit disappointed. Just a tiny bit, which I think we are okay with being a bit disappointed that we didn't see anything. Demanding stuff from Team Cherry is not the way. Pinging Leth and pinging Team Cherry is not the way, right? Making random jokes about let's sacrifice Mossbag, sure, let's do it again. That's a fun little community thing. That's a meme, right? But let's not get to death threats or any other sort of threats towards them, right? They've been hard at developing this game for 5 years, and I honestly have my full faith in Team Cherry that when the game is gonna be delivered, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so much better than Hollow Knight. Because Hollow Knight, remember, it was also quite rushed. They were running out of money back when they did Hollow Knight. And now they have the chance and the funds to truly make their dream game as proper as they could. that's another point I do want to talk about. Both the timing of the announcement for Silksong and, generally speaking, the community in general. So let's talk about the timing of the announcement for Silksong, because I believe this plays a major role in how the community is today. Because Silksong had to be announced back in 2019 in February, mainly because it's been like 3 to 6 months, I don't remember exactly, since Goldmaster. Which, back then, during the DLC releases for Hollow Knight, we always got, I think, a DLC every 6 months or so, or 3 to 6 months. So people were expecting something about the Hornet DLC. And so we got the Silksong announcement, which only happened then and there because of two reasons. The expectations of the Silksong DLC from everyone else, and their Kickstarter promises, because the Hornet DLC was a Kickstarter promise. It was one of the stretch goals. I'm telling you that if Team Cherry didn't have to reveal the game so early, they would have only done it like last year at the very I think latest sometime last year, if we count the delay as well. Why does this play into the community? Mainly because the community has been waiting for the game for over 5 years with quite minimal communications. So that made the community just slowly lose its mind, per se, right? Every time there was an event, people were expecting maybe we're gonna get some Silksong news. We didn't. There was a nuke, right? In the Silksong discussions channel, and so on and so forth. Everyone was very happy whenever we got, for example, the riddles or the Edge magazine. That was like a good end of the year. The Edge magazine, man. Anyway, that's not the point here. The point is that the community has slowly lost it. Mainly because of the lack of communication, sorry. And another point I want to go over is how, not necessarily how it will affect the sales of Silksong, because Silksong is going to sell way better than Hollow Knight. There are those people who just heard of Silksong and then they forgot about it until they're gonna see that, oh, Silksong is out from my wish list. That's cool. Or on a Nintendo, whenever the Nintendo trailer comes out for the release. But here's one tiny point I want to make here. If Silksong was their first ever game, I have a very high feeling, very positive feeling, that the community would not be as supportive of Team Cherry because of this silence that we have. If they would have went with communication the same way they're doing now, if Silksong was their first game, it's entirely possible the community would not be behind Team Cherry at that point. Because let's be honest here, the way they're doing communications is not a good way at all. I don't know, like in total, let's say in total, have we even had over 20 times they communicated with us in 5 years about the development of the game? I guess we had like two or three blog posts. We had 3 riddles. I think we had 3 riddles. We had 2 messages from Leth that debunked. Well, I think we had 1 message from Leth that debunked it not being at the Game Awards. I don't remember which one it was. And we got the Leth messaging this February. Greg has been interacting with the community, but mainly just as as someone just discussing in the channel. So I don't know, have we had more than 20 times in the past 5 years where we've gotten interactions with Team Cherry? It just feels so weird how they were so active during the Hollow Knight development with updates, especially on the Kickstarter. And I really don't want to believe that they were active mainly and purely because of the Kickstarter. I want to believe that Team Cherry in general is this open when it comes to updates, but it seems like we were proven wrong, I guess. Then again, we don't know what's behind the development of the game, right? We don't know what issues arose, we don't know how testing went, we don't know what bugs came up. And I just kind of wish that they would tell us exactly, okay, not even exactly, just hint at why the delay happened, why we still haven't gotten anything, like any form of like news, and why they didn't just have Less tell us that they're not gonna be at Summer Game Fest. I know the argument as well. The argument being that, if Let's tells us they're not gonna be at Summer Game Fest, there's gonna be anticipation that he's gonna tell us that they're not gonna be at this or that. And the moment he doesn't tell us they're not gonna be there, oh my god, where's the surprise, right? And I kind of get that point, but in this situation, with how the community reacted, I feel like it would have been much better to just create this expectation and then later, just say, hey, we're not going to let you know at everything, but this was a big one, than to just let the community go down the path that they did. That Silksong discussion channel was a cesspool for like an hour and a half almost after the showcase ended. There were some people like trying to do fair criticism, but a lot of people were just coming in, spamming Let's and just hating on Team Cherry for the fact that the game they can play at some point, and then just in the meanwhile play other games isn't out, right? That's the thing. Go play video games. Silksong is not the only video game in the world. Replay Hollow Knight for the 10th time. Play Blasphemous 1 and 2. Nine Souls just came out if you want some hard combat, right? Play Celeste if you haven't for platforming, and like there's so many good games. Both 2D and 3D. Elden Ring DLC is coming out in 12 days, I believe, or something like that, and I'm really excited for that. So, what should be the takeaway from this whole thing that happened? I honestly don't know exactly. Like, Team Cherry's way of communication is really bad, and if the community wasn't this passionate about Hollow Knight, it would have hurt them as a company. Because every time I say that Team Cherry's communication is bad, it's mainly looking at it from the point of view of being a company, creating a company to make video games. Poor communication will lead to really bad things when it comes to your community, when it comes to your sales, when it comes to you as your company and making money. And you could be like, well, but Team Cherry has money already. Yeah, money that's been going into development for Silksong for the past 5 years. Money that's going to go into marketing the game, marketing Silksong and everything. They might barely have any money left after Silksong is over. So then Silksong has to have good sales, because generally that's kind of how development works in small studios. Small studios, most of their money goes into living and their next games in order to make more money and to grow their catalog and to grow their fan base. That's why I'm saying Silksong's sales aren't going to hurt. The other thing is, the community needs to chill. Take a chill pill. Stop obsessing over Silksong and go play other games. Seriously. The way the Silksong discussion channel was and the way the Reddit was, it was insane, and I really don't want to see that happening again. Okay? I don't think Team Cherry deserves hate. They deserve criticism, yes, but hating and threats and spampings is not the way to show your criticism. Do I think that Silksong's gonna be at the Nintendo Direct? I don't know. The only thing I guess you could say, it's because now it's been sort of, I don't know if it's been leaked or announced, that it's gonna be in the latter part of June, which is 17th to 28th, right? So maybe initially I had a hope for Nintendo, because maybe it would have been on the 12th, right? Because it's a Wednesday, they usually do it on Wednesday, and that's when the free trial ends. But at this point, I don't know anymore. I think that the Nintendo Direct is just gonna come and go, and we're gonna be left in the same spot as we are right now. It's just that it's really sad to see the lack of communication. And we all have to realize that the game is gonna come out one day. If the Doomers were right and the game was cancelled, it would have been announced already that, hey, we're not doing Silksong anymore. I don't think they would have kept us going for 5 years at this point to just cancel the game on us. I don't know, the only Doomer theory I have is that maybe Team Cherry did indeed change the engine back during the Unity process, and that's why they didn't make the Xbox release window. I don't know anymore. But yeah, we're going to be here waiting patiently. Maybe try to have less copium before every single event. Even though I have a lot of copium, mainly because of the leak and the tweet from Jason, the initial tweet from Jason Schreier. But yeah, maybe I'll try to have less copium even with leaks and everything like that. Well, if you did enjoy this video, even though it was a bit rambly and I don't know if I even covered the points I wanted to cover, why not leave a like, comment, or even subscribe? I will cover anything Silksong related that's gonna come out in the future, hopefully news. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.